What's up guys, Darren here, bringing y'all my Stamina Sorcerer PvP build for the Dragon Moses DLC patch. Now this build is mainly for open world, just because that's what I do. I'm always out in cyrodiil, I open world play, small group, solo. You can use this for 1v1s, though I don't really like the 1v1 just because it's honestly pointless right now. There's too many variables in there to be considered who's good and who's trash, but that's a whole different story. But if you are a 1v1er, you can use this in 1v1s, but this probably works better open world. So let's get this started. For my 2-piece, I'm running 2-piece Troll King. I know a lot of people probably hate that, but they can go fuck themselves, because right now in open world everybody's running cancer, and to fight cancer you got to use cancer. That's how it is. This is very OP, especially for solo play. Like, your survivability is ridiculous. My health recovery goes up to about maybe 3k, if not just under 3k with this. But this with Dark Deal and Vigor, you're not gonna fucking die. And my 5-piece, I'm running 7th Legion. Now I switch between 7th Legion and Fury, but lately I've been liking 7th Legion just because with Fury's case you need to stack up 25 times critical damage to get the full weapon damage use out of it. That's not always the case, because sometimes I'm either stuck in a 1v1 or a couple, the damage doesn't always stack up. Like, if you're fighting someone in a 1v1 like a Magnite Blade or a Stam DK or Mag DK, yeah, it'll stack up, but other than that, it honestly, you gotta fight a big group and they all gotta be attacking you at once for this shit to stack up. But yeah, I mean, 7th Legion, I like it more just because no matter what I'm in, I'm always gonna have high weapon damage. Like, no matter what situation, I'll have like about 500 weapon damage. Now Fury gives you like 225 more, but I found 7th Legion to be a tad more reliable in honestly any situation that I'm in. Whereas Fury, you need to go against a lot of people in order for that to work. But yeah, I'll show you all my stats at the end of the video, but that's pretty much what it is. Like, I like 7th Legion. 7th Legion's nice. My 3-piece, I'm running agility, all weapon damage, glyphs, no recovery. This build has no recovery. I'm also red guard, by the way. You can probably get a slight more damage out of Orc, and actually more healing as well, because it benefits Troll King and your Vigor. But I do PvE, so I use red guard, and red guard doesn't give you honestly like terrible stats. You can go Wood Elf if you're going more of a recovery side build, but honestly Wood Elf you don't really need to be as a Stam Sorc. I used to use it, but I mean, you only get like the benefit of 20% extra recovery and I don't know, 6% max Stam, I guess, like that. Like, the sneak part is really useless. It's only good for Nightblades. But yeah. And then I'm running Maelstrom Battle Axe. Now if you don't have that, you can run, I don't know, you can run this is what I was running before I got Maelstrom Battle Axe recently. I was running a Spriggan's Greatsword Nerdhoned, but honestly for this build, Maelstrom Battle Axe is the best in slot, just because you get the bleed damage from crit charge plus the bleed damage from heavy attacks. And since I'm not a recovery build, I rely off of heavy attacks, so this complements that by always having bleed damage coming out. So while I'm getting my recovery back, or my resources back, I'm constantly heavy attacking them, having bleed damage on them. And then for my sword and board bar, I'm running Coward's Gear. You can probably run other shit, doesn't matter. I run it just for the max health. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Before I had immovables, or I didn't have immovables, I would run Cowards on the body. That's why I run those. I'd run Cowards, but now that I have immovables, let me see. Those are the immovables that I'm running. Immune knockback for 10 seconds. You get Major Expedition, which helps out so much now that I don't have to rely off of Coward's Gear. I use this, so I get Major Expedition pretty much 100% of the time if I choose to, and my recovery goes up by 20%. But that doesn't really matter. I just use it for the immovable part and the speed part. So There's that. My back bar I run the weapon damage glyphs, and my front bar I do this. I run the magic, restore Stam, whatever. You could probably change that out. I just keep it like that. I mean, it doesn't matter. That's pretty much it. My champion points, let me see. I got 56 in a Warlord, 35 in a Bashing Focus, 56 in a Tenacity, 56 in a Shadow Ward, 37 in a Tumbling, 56 in a Blessed, 63 in a Master at Arms, 23 in a Precise, 42 in a Piercing, 56 in a Mighty, 56 in a Ironclad, 38 in Resistant, 37 Thick Skin, 43 in a Hardy and Elemental, and then I run 23 in an Expert Defender. So those are my champion points. Now let me get to my skill bar setup. I run Stampede for the snare, Dizzy Swing because that's your main source of DPS, Rally for the obviously buff and the OP heal. Bound Armaments, you don't have to run Bound Armaments, you can switch that out. It's a flex spot, but I like it just because it increases my max stam by 8, and I'm constantly heavy attacking, so I get extra damage out of that, plus the bleed damage, which helps out a lot. My Execute and my Dawnbreaker is smiting. And what I also like to do, I also have this there because I usually heavy attack in a Dawnbreaker most of the time, so that helps out a lot too, and it helps out with your damage as well. I run Dark Deal. Now they fixed it this patch where like if you get interrupted, you can't use it for a couple seconds, and now you can only bash it once. But I mean, if you get Dizzy Swinged or you get leaped on or Javelin, it also interrupts as well. So when I like to do that, I'll pretty much block and I'll Dark Deal for my resource management. That's pretty much how I sustain that and heavy attacks, and I honestly don't run out of resources that much, and if I do, I mean, I don't really die that much. Run Reverb for the reduced healing. I run Vigor for the heals, Bound Armaments on the back bar, and I use Hurricane for my buff. I don't use it for the dot, I use it for the resistance obviously, and then I run Spell Wall just in case I'm getting fucking Zerg down. Gotta go back, Dark Deal up, whatever, Vigor. But yeah, it's pretty much that. So that's pretty much my build. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing really special. I guarantee you a lot of Sorcs run this. Even other classes probably run it, or at least a variation of it. Like I said, this is an open world build. You can use it for 1v1s, but I mean, you could probably find a better build for 1v1s out there than this. But yeah, later.